So yesterday we got the engine out. Took us about 2.5 hours to pull it out. And then we pulled the passenger side head off, or driver's side head off, excuse me. And this is where we got. And we found obvious blown head gasket here. So that was probably the cause of my pressure in the coolant system. Everything else looked really good. Injectors looked good. Nothing was getting past the copper washers. Push rods were good. Nothing was bent. Cylinders look pretty good. There's a couple markings, as you can see here, but nothing that catches the fingernail, so I'm not too worried about it. Still has cross-hatching, no cracks in the pistons. Block looks good, no cracks in between the cylinder walls, as kind of expected. I mean, I only ran this thing for 2,500 miles, but this is the first time pulling the heads off, and we did have the fueling issue where EGTs were getting really hot. Actually, my engine stand doesn't fit in between the legs, so we're just gonna set it here, keep it simple, sit on the tire, and pull this head off. So let's begin. Whenever you pull the injector return harness off, you want to replace it every time on LMLs because they're super picky about it. It just makes your life easier later on. So we got all the fuel out. Other than this, injector one is being a kind of a bitch. I don't want to damage that injector, so I'm gonna wait until I have the actual puller. Okay, so this injector has been giving me absolute fits, but in case you're curious, the threads on an LML injector, I believe they're the same 01 to 14 or 01 to 16, are all M14 1.5. Same as the lug nuts. So, got a slide hammer, thread that on there. Grab our slide hammer. And lug nut works perfect because it's got the groove on it, or the lip on it to grab. Gonna go right there. And we're just gonna pull it straight out. And today we're gonna do the steering wheel because I still cannot get this injector out. I had a slide hammer on it, the whole 9 yards. This thing is stuck bad. So that's gonna be a serious issue. We might end up having to buy an injector. That's gonna be like 800 bucks, not what you want. So I kind of have a light set up in here, but I already got the covers off here. You're gonna go in this hole here and you're gonna push a release for the airbag, and then you can actually pull on the airbag itself and it'll pop out. There's one on each side, so let's do that. Done. So we got this out. Now we just got to disconnect the airbag wires and the steering wheel controls, which one on each side. The nut here, which I believe is a 21, and then the other plug here. And then we should be able to just wiggle the steering wheel and it should pop right off. Hopefully I don't need a steering wheel puller. Okay, so now I'm not entirely sure. I believe this has to come off here, and then I gotta figure out which pins are for the horn out of this connector here, which I should be able to look that diagram up pretty easily. And I gotta rewire it for the horn. It'll be nice to still have a horn. Yeah, but this has to come off. I'm 99% positive. Okay, actually I did just remember something. I forgot. We are going to be on a standalone harness, so we'll have no BCM. So none of these pins will work anyway. So I'm gonna have to wire my horn on a relay, as I'm gonna have to my lights and everything else for the BCM windows. So I may as well just pull all this off, and I really don't have to worry about it because I'm gonna have to wire it independently with the standalone from DMAX Swap for the 48. Okay, so first this adapter, which is actually backwards, is gonna go to the top like so. And then we will take the nut goes back on, and we will retighten this down, and then on to step 2. Okay, so next is the quick release clip, which I've actually already figured this out. This bolt hole is going to go to that one to line up our steering wheel, so that way it is straight. I will have to come back and wire my horn, not a big deal. That's like literally the least of my concerns right now. So let's get to it. Okay, so I'm actually coming back to record this, but after you do get this hub on here, then all you gotta do is mount the other half to the wheel, and you got your quick connect wheel. I like it, turned out really good. We're gonna have to get some buttons. I don't know how we're gonna mount them. It's probably gonna have to go here, I'm guessing, for a button. I don't think I can reach that. But yeah, so that is in and I do like that a lot. It's kind of a pain to do with one hand, but yeah. Okay, so I finally got that stuck injector out. Had to rig up the slide hammer, and yeah, that injector definitely lifted. So we're gonna have some SoCal billet hold downs coming in the mail. Ordered those, and we're gonna take this head off today and see what this one looks like underneath. See if we had any other head gasket issues like we did on the driver's side. Okay, so we got the head off. I did a lot of cleaning up, but the bores look good. None of the pistons are cracked. Rods are all standard length. Always a good sign. The bad is multiple head gasket issues. I don't know whether this was a stretching of the head studs or the fact that I did run water in it, and I have a bad feeling that the water took its toll on the gasket itself, since it is MLS. But yeah, it blew here, 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 here. Same spot, all 4 cylinders, so either stretch the studs or whatever. The water probably did not do it wonders, so we're going to run. So my local track will not let you run unless you are running water, and I do not want to do that anymore, whether they like it or not. I'm going to be running cold. Okay, so today we're starting the process of wiring the headlights, taillights, cab lights, gauges, everything that's not going to be ran by the standalone harness for the 48 swap. This is going to be a process. I want it all to look good when I'm done, so we're going to make some space on the firewall, which I'll show you right here. So the fuse box is going to be mounted here, so I'm going to have to, pull some of this off. And then we got our relays here. So power will go from, obviously, battery to the fuse box to the relay, and then relay to wherever, headlights, taillights, etc. And then obviously we'll have from a switch in the cab to here and power from the switch. So we're going to start with that. We're going to get the fuse box mounted, clean these up, and yeah, I'll be back in a second. Okay, so we got our fuse box mounted. So pretty much we're going to come all of them off the top, make a little 90, come across and around the bottom side, and then they'll each jump into each one. So we're going to actually come across the top and then down across the bottom. Then we can just follow that back and then come straight across the top once we harness it into the cab. Or, for example, like I'm sure some will come down to the headlights this way. Yeah, it's going to be a mess, but we're just going to do wire by wire, take our time, and keep things as clean as possible. Yeah, so we're doing our supply lines for our relays. Okay, so a little update. We got it mounted. We got our fuses in. So the top row of fuses, so we'll have a main power that will come to here. And then our top row of fuses are going to be our main power that goes to our relay to power our accessories. And the bottom ones are going to be our reference voltages, or reference, whatever you want to call them, to go to the switch in the cab. So we'll run from here to the switch in the cab, and then from the switch in the cab, we'll run all the way back to the relay. And that'll be your on-off switch. So it should work pretty slick. Then we can run all of our grounds to here as well and ground this to the battery. And everything will be in one fuse box. So that'll be really, really nice. All our fuses are there. And then we'll wire tuck up under here. And then hopefully keep this clean. And then my exhaust should cover a lot of this. Might have to do a little heat shield on the wiring harness here, but not a big deal. Not too worried about that right now. So next, I am actually planning on making the switch panel and mounting it in the cab, because next we're going to go from the fuse box to each switch. So this will be interesting because I got to figure out where and how I want to mount this so it's convenient. Okay, so it's been a bit since we did an update. So these are all ran. Obviously these will be tucked like so and wrap around the top side. I'm going to try to keep as much of the wiring under the cowl as I can. And then I'm starting to do now, I got to put a fuse in that, but I'm starting to do the reference wires, which are going to come down, across, up, and then over into the main harness. They're going to come down to here. They're going to come down behind here, and I drilled a hole, and I'll do a rubber grommet in the firewall there. Okay, so end of day one. This is about 5 hours of work probably. So we got the first trigger wire sent to the switches, and then we got the wire coming back from the switches to solenoid number 1, which will be lift pump. And that's about as far as we got today. This is going to be a process, to say the least. Okay, I apologize for the noise. I gotta have the heat run. It's like 25 degrees here, and this place is only halfway insulated. I have not finished insulating yet. And there's a sleet snowstorm, and there's about 3/4 of an inch of ice actually on the roads and stuff today, so we'll not be doing much. But we are going to keep picking away at the wiring, and we're gonna see how far we can get today. I got about an hour and a half, and then I'm going to use a buddy of mine's shop that is heated with a lift to do a bunch of maintenance on my 21 Dodge. So we'll probably do a little clip of that and go over that. Okay, it's loud in here again, but we got all these wires which are going to the switch. These are our signal wires, and they're all color coded, and they're marked in an Excel spreadsheet, so I know where this one goes, what it's for, everything. Follow it around. This is a return wire from the switch, but comes down to the firewall like I showed before. Really happy with how this is turning out. I'm actually really excited. So, okay, so this is as far as we got. Now we're starting to run them from the switch in the cab around and to the relays. I realize all these aren't on yet. There's ice sliding off the roof right now. That's how much like sleet, rain we're getting. So we got 2 of them done. I got the 3rd one done here, and these are all cut to length, but I did run out of the, if it'll focus there, the female spade terminals. It will not focus on that. It is not like that. Yeah. Anyway, so we're going to go work on the Dodge, and on the way back, we'll pick up some more of those. So we're going to do a change of pace. We are going to go work on the Dodge and do some general maintenance on that, because I am driving down to Maverick Diesel's Dyno Day, which is the 25th of February, to go see Everett and, check out their Dyno Day. Won't have the truck there, obviously, but it'll still be fun to go down. And we are going to have some fun with the Dodge. Maybe. Yeah, so I was not kidding. Like, there is a good 3/4 of an inch of like slushy ice, and it is icing because it is actually falling off the trees and landing. Look at this, chunks of it is landing. Look how thick it is, and it is hitting the Dodge, so I'm gonna get the Dodge moved and out of here. They're pretty wild. Okay, so we got Dodge up on the lift. We're gonna rotate the tires, oil, fuel filter, cabin filter we're gonna do as well, which we got here, and we already did the taillight that I had out, so get a new filter on, drop this down, get new oil in it, and then I'll change the fuel filter. Okay, so we got the Dodge all done, and I think it's looking pretty good. The white grill sets it off. I need to finish the color match on the front. I hate those. I hate them, but we'll get there one day. Add it to the list. Okay, so I'm home for the night. Everything went smooth. I mean, it was just basic maintenance and the Dodge. And we got some wiring done in this video. Not as much as I wanted to, but we also got the steering wheel done. And we're just gonna keep picking away at it. I really don't wanna burn myself out because it is gonna take a lot of time to finish this wiring and do it the way I wanna do it. But I don't wanna have to do this again, which is something that I guess I've learned over the years because I'm now redoing a lot of the work I used to do. So I guess that's pretty much it. We're gonna head down to Maverick's Dyno Day, and that will probably be a separate video. I mean, if you guys enjoyed, you've watched YouTube before, you know what everybody says. Subscribe, like, all that good stuff. Yeah, so we'll see you at Maverick's Dyno Day, I guess.